Paradex live stream. We are on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Singapore time. We've been doing this for 3 weeks. This is our fourth week right now in a row, so it's great. And as you can see, we are in a very different location right now. You will see special guests over here. You will see a Tiger Beer sign. You will see Stout with me right now. So we're not in the office clearly. Where we are is we are at a cafe called the Cheval Cafe Bar and Bistro. This is on the border of Singapore, like northwards, like close to Malaysia. And why are we here? Is because the team, we had a little go-kart event. So as you can see, everyone just arrived after go-karting. Yeah. So this will be probably the most interesting, the most exciting live stream of all time. So
yeah, we're still setting up. Very odd location. I'm here on the side.
it's going to be the most.
We are a very candid team.
This will be the most raw live stream you're doing, and if this works, shit, maybe we'll do it more often.
100%.
We're getting into some horse racing.
Technically, this is a horse racing area. This is a stable. There's horses, sleeping. So we are here because there was as we were sharing, there's a go-kart event that we had earlier, team event, and we found the nearest place for us to do the live stream. We couldn't do it at the go-karting event because Dan and I tried. We tried our best to make sure that we could find a good location, but at the go-karting event, go-karting location, there were too many cars going like.
No, it was too loud. It was very hot.
Yeah,
not that most ideal space.
Yeah.
But, you co-pilot.
1 second. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe then what we'll do is take us away. Like maybe we can do some introductions for our two speaking guests for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a couple people here. We have Fred, who's more technical, so it's not just me and Steamboat giving very generic answers, and he can answer any question you have later. We have Clement, that is our lead engineer. We have Mickey, our co-founder. We have Anand, the other co-founder. You know him. You see a lot of clips, or you should be seeing a lot of clips of
Who's
him.
this guy?
Yeah. Hey, man.
No, I was in the house. Yeah,
See, like,
nobody.
open
Nobody.
seat, huh?
Yeah,
Just open seat, huh?
Yeah, open seat.
This guy just rolled up on us.
This is supposed to be a private event, though.
I just happened to like be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out well. It worked out well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think he kicked some ass today at go-karting.
He
Yeah,
did.
he drove past me like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And then he did that wink.
Actually, everyone kicked our asses. That's why I joined myself, and then we came early
Yeah.
because we didn't want to do round two. It's like
It's
fuck
a
this
lot.
guys,
Very
you know.
It's a
That
lot.
is very
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lose once, that's it.
Mhm.
Everyone feel like winners tonight.
It's the most competitive go-karting I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, that second
Yeah.
round, there was 4 of us, and we were just neck and neck like for 6 or 7 of the laps. It was fun. There was some aggressive T-bones and whatnot. It was fun. It was fun.
So yeah, for today's stream, we got a lot of different things to talk about. We had some new content coming out. We sent out some clips with Anand from When Shift Happens. Look forward to that video next Thursday, November 13. We had some clips from Rob on Decipher. Check that out. And we're going to go over a lot of different things today, like interviewing these guys. All right, but we're gonna let them order first, and we'll take our time. So if you want to queue up any questions, last week we gave away 600 XP.
Yeah.
600
Can I
XP.
get it?
Do you want to give
Yeah.
out XP or do you
No, I
want
wanna
to receive
receive it, I
XP?
wanna receive
No,
it. Okay.
no.
You gotta give them a really good compliment.
Okay, so
That's
I
the,
gotta-
that's the rule. Best compliment
I
gets
got a challenge for people today for you to earn the XP. So last week it was very menial tasks, very simple things like give me a compliment. That's so easy,
Yeah.
right? I
a
mean,
good compliment.
everybody wants to praise me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we also told people like if you have .dime in your name, then you qualify for like rewards when you join our Paradex ecosystem Twitter account. So tell you what, I'm gonna start off with some numbers, some stats, and people who can remember, who can answer questions later in the chat, you will then qualify for the free XP. How about that? How
That
about
sounds
that?
pretty good.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna be a quiz show later.
one of the key things that we did last week was that we launched XP transfers, right? And maybe do any one of you want to share like why we did that? But you know what?
That was the first quiz.
No, that was the first quiz.
Yeah.
That's the first quiz. So it essentially allows it's the much safer way for people to trade like points on Dexter. So people have points and XP. Ours is XP, right? And by allowing the transfers, we make it safer for people to commit as a buyer. Right
Right.
now, in other OTC markets, when you are buying XP, you are committing collateral, but the seller can technically not want to follow through with it if the eventual value of the tokens is much higher. So by allowing the transfers, you as the buyer, you own it, man. You own it.
100%.
You know. So on that note, maybe the two of you guys guess.
Yeah.
Don't look at my notes.
Already looked.
You look.
I
Okay.
did
So
look already.
Arjun.
Putting me on the
Arjun and
spot.
Trevor.
Okay.
Arjun and Trevor.
Give a number. How many transfers? How many XP transfers do you think we processed since we launched last week?
So you wanna go for first guess?
Number of transfers or like total XP transfer?
We'll do both. Number of transfers first.
Okay. Go for it. Number of transfers
Number of transfers since last week,
since it opened up, basically.
130.
Just 130 transfers?
Decent answer,
Yeah,
Arjun.
130.
Yeah, he gave, I think, close to 170.
Okay, so very good. So these guys definitely did not see my notes. We had 500 plus
Yeah.
transfers.
In a
Okay?
week.
Giving the wrong
Yeah,
cues,
we-
man.
He said
you're
you're
kind
kind
of
of
close
close
at
at
me.
one.
Yeah.
Well,
This
at
guy
least
set me up.
at least it was 3 digits.
That-
At least it was 3
Yeah.
digits.
That's why I
What
said
was
guess
the
that, huh?
average?
Guess
You have the
the
average
I
XP
did not
transfer?
count the average, but tell you what, we can do some mental sums next because I will now ask you guys how many XP in total was transferred last week.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
how many
okay.
XP in total were transferred? It's definitely more than 500. It's definitely
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
3
yeah.
digits.
I'll be bullish this time. I'll say 600K.
Listen.
This guy. Can't trust him.
Too high or too low?
I'm going 750K.
Whoa, shit. Very close. So okay.
This is gonna be gas.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
2.5.
For real. 600K was close enough because we hit 6-digit mark correctly. 750 is even closer because we had about 786,000.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
very
that's
good.
close. That's close.
That's like
786,000. What the? I need to remind myself not to curse too much on live stream.
Yeah, you can. It's fine. This is Paradex.
Yeah.
This is a very unfiltered
Okay.
community.
So I hope you guys are paying attention because these numbers are going to be part of my quiz or our quiz to you later in order for you to earn free XP from me. I want to give you shit. So you got to pay attention and listen. Okay, last question. How many new XP holders do you think we got last week just from transfers? Meaning people who created accounts just for the fuck of acquiring Paradex XP. This is pretty interesting because you would imagine that, for example, we are all users, so like we buy from each other, you want to accumulate for whatever purposes the XP brings to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these guys, they're from outside. They're not exactly trading, or maybe they will be, but they created accounts just
Just to
How
How
speculate.
many
Wire.
unique traders were there?
I don't have that.
Okay.
I don't have that with me in my little notes. So how many unique XP holders joined us last week just from buying XP?
That's a good question.
The clue I will give you is it is not as high as 786K and not as high as 500.
Wait, in like unique new wallets who created an account
Yes.
to buy
Yeah.
XP, the amount of XP they bought, or just the number of wallets?
Number of wallets,
Oh, okay, yeah. 200.
200,
1,000.
1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Fred, you wanna take a guess?
You can see my notes, man.
Yeah.
No, forget Freddy. But
Well, didn't you say there was like 1,000 like
okay.
number
Yeah.
of transfers? So like I'm
So
assuming
there were a lot of transfers from people who already had accounts. But so this is interesting. This isn't a point to brag. This is me calling out a number because I think we can do better. 40 new accounts were created. Just
40?
Correct. From buying XP. So this is something that can be improved.
Yeah.
I think because
Well, how much XP did they buy though?
Ah,
Because like if they're coming and
Yeah.
buying size,
Yeah.
like that matters a lot.
he's asking all the right questions.
Yeah,
So
because
I-
like if I've
That's a good
traded
question.
20 million, I've got whatever
okay.
200,
You
300.
did a good job in getting the right guess.
So I'm gonna segue into the next segment, right? So Trevor's asking all the right questions. Philip's asking all the right questions, and I think we need to move the focus to him. So obviously he's a very smart guy, very numbers driven. He's asking me things that I have no idea. I did not do enough research. All I got are like these 3-line items. Okay, so I got 500 transfers in total, 786K XP offered in total, and 40 new XP holders since last week. All
Yeah,
right.
those 40 new wallets were like the vast majority of XP. Like that's incredibly bullish. But if they were like wash trading, you know,
I
$100,
see.
it's a little bit less
Makes
exciting.
sense. Makes sense. So maybe let's do an intro for Flip because he's
He's here.
showing
He's
around how
visiting.
smart he is,
Yeah.
and I think we need to explain to people why he's here with us today.
That's a good
Go for
question.
it, Mr. Flip. Would you like to introduce
This
yourself?
is your introduction.
Yeah.
I
Putting you
work
on the spot.
Yeah, where's the camera? There's the camera. Flip. I work at Delphi Digital as an analyst. I recently joined there. My background is traditional finance, where I help build internal fund of funds, while also doing managing a liquid model portfolio for our clients. And so that's where I spent most of my time doing. And then I always had a passion for crypto, so we started to build out crypto fund of funds with venture funds. And so I spent a lot of time there. Did that for 3 to 4 years, and then went and worked at a crypto hedge fund for a little bit, and then decided to join Delphi Digital, which is an incredibly cracked team. They're very impressive. We had an offsite in Montenegro, and everyone there is incredibly sharp. Yeah, there's a background.
Especially people like
No.
Flip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned from them.
Now,
That's why I'm here too. I learned from you guys.
And let's ask all the right questions and vibe guys, we just go didn't check that.
yeah. Now,
Fred, you wanna come closer here, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think that would be better. Or you can come.
we could rotate. We could rotate.
Yeah, you can like.
No, stay there.
Yeah,
I can be here, right? That's fine.
Okay.
Now, the real question is, what did you order for dinner?
I fumbled the bag and I didn't even order.
Oh, I mean, you still can. So we just got finished go-karting. Now, this was a fun event, but how did we end up go-karting today?
He crushed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it. Fred crushed it.
Yeah.
No, that last round was really intense though.
Oh, it was.
That
Yeah,
last
that's
round
that's
was
why we
intense.
are all sweaty
Yeah.
and everything.
We call him No Breaks Freddy now.
Yeah, no break Freddy.
No.
We should change your name. No break Freddy.
Freddy No Breaks.
There was only one pedal on that go-kart for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my brake didn't even work. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, you guys are like slamming. At that point, you're spinning. So
That's my excuse why I lost.
Okay.
But that was fun though. I like actually have like a blister coming. It's just crazy. Like that's so like soft to
Yeah.
say, but like
No, we're,
it's not very Dave-like. but-
we're online people. It's understandable.
Yeah.
But it was pretty random as well, like how all this happened. It was just a passing comment by our fearless leader PD. He just said hey, why don't we try this?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. People of action.
good team building.
Yeah.
It was fun. You know, everyone who got liquidated got to let out.
Yeah,
aggression
it's
there.
been a rough
It's
market.
therapy.
That is true.
I forgot I got liquidated. I should have.
Hopefully that was 10-10, not yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It's tough.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay.
You can reload it later.
I've been playing bullying like a. Never mind. I won't say how much. Yeah.
Set a stop loss, bro.
I know.
What are
I
those?
know.
What are those?
The
Okay.
easiest trick in the book.
Wise words.
What are
Okay.
those?
So all these comments from different people here are great segues for us to introduce them, right? So he's done his introduction. He asked all the right questions like an analyst. And now we have Freddy. So Freddy is Freddy is many things actually. So Freddy, you know what? When we last you go live in real life, you explain what you do, and there were like 3 or 4 different job scopes. Everyone went like, oh, so now for all our thousands of people viewing live, tell us what you do. What do you do, Freddy?
What do I do? Yeah, that's I do a lot of things.
What do you
like
not do,
said.
Freddy?
What do I not do?
Easier.
I don't hit
Yeah,
brakes.
I don't hit break.
Freddy No Breaks.
Well, I do
Okay.
a little bit of let's say technical support at Paradex. I actually also work a bit at Paradigm, our other business. I do a little bit of community management.
Yeah.
I did a bit of
Yeah.
BD, exactly.
Content,
Content,
education.
Yeah, I had a trading workshop during
Yeah.
Token.
What kind of BD? What kind of BD? Like, target
Well,
audience. Because I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
I mean, like a big part is the Paradigm business, right?
No,
So,
nice. Oh, nice,
exactly,
nice.
the institutional
Big brands.
relationships,
Yeah.
that trade big bucks
Yeah.
and options. So I really like options. I trade options a lot myself.
Yeah.
On Paradigm? On crypto?
I'm
Or
not-
equities?
I'm not that institutionalized
Yeah.
with my funds. 25 BTC minimum size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a big boy
25
table.
Bitcoin minimum
Yeah.
size.
So you
I'm
got
not-
That's not to say doesn't own that amount. He doesn't want to expose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get good execution on the venues. I don't need that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
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 Okay, so this is Freddy. So we brought him on to the live stream today just to make everything more intelligent. Yes, no one reacted.
Yeah.
As usual, whenever I make a cold joke, when we had a live audience last week and they're all my friends, when I make a joke, nobody laughed. That's how you know they're your true friends.
But it's nice to have that real
They're
reaction,
real.
so you know they didn't laugh yet.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
But all those support tickets, when you see Frederick, that's
Yes,
Ah.
You're
If
the
you see
man.
the support
if you
ticket,
see
that's
that
Yeah.
support ticket, that's usually me.
Carrying the weight.
Yeah.
There's only one Frederick.
So if you
Paradex,
find
yeah.
him somewhere in Singapore and your support ticket is not resolved, you know, like this is the man. This is how he looks.
it's because he's out to dinner right now. So give us time.
Yeah, you
I
take
look-
a- take
I
a
look
screenshot.
different now. I look very sweaty, so you will not. I also need to get a haircut, so next time you won't
You were cooking
recognize
on
me.
the go-karts.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm
You
German.
won both races.
Both? Oh, he won
Oh,
both. That's our BD. That's our best driver.
Yeah,
That's
Half a
right.
second. Yeah.
By half a second, yeah.
I have
that
a
was,
second. I have a second. I have a
Just
second.
breathing in my neck.
There was some road rage that last few laps.
Let's see. So we have a couple things we can either get into
Yeah.
the Paradex Eco launch this week, or we can talk about what these guys are working on, or
Let's go to these guys now.
let's go to these guys. Let's do some interviews. So let's chat with Trevor. Trevor, what are you working on?
Right now?
Yeah. Besides that drink.
Yeah. Besides that, the Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Really focusing on Paradex, and really, trying to figure out what these businesses become in the future. Because right now, the way everyone looks at it is just another mean of gambling, degenerate leverage with perps, and then people bring up Hyperliquid or Lighter or Paradex, and they always compare it to Binance or Bybit, and trying to get to that level. I think the vision is much bigger than that.
Right.
And this is, something I'm working on right now, and this will be, hopefully go out an article I'll write here in the next few weeks, and it'll be in the Delphi Year Head Report as well as like the DeFi Super Center.
Yeah. So I wanted to jump in on that because people think that perp dexes are for degens, that it's not really for everyone yet. But that's how Bitcoin started, right? It was like
It was a meme, yeah.
Yeah, it was for the Silk
Yeah.
Road. It was used for illegal stuff.
Pizza.
Now it's like a big investment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza would be good right
Pizza starts with it. Pizza starts everything.
now. It does. It most definitely does. But yeah, the DeFi Super Center thesis, which we've spent some time talking about, and a lot of this stems from the conversations I've had with Anand, and so he's definitely been very helpful in writing this thesis, and so it's been fun to be out here and kind of be with the team and brainstorm a little bit on how to like fine tune it.
All right. So start off with the DeFi Super Center. Like, let us know in the chat what you guys think it is. Wrong answers only. You
Yeah,
guys,
long
you guys included. Like what? But like you're not in crypto. What do you think the DeFi Super Center is? If it's not crypto related.
If it's not crypto related, I guess it combines all different financial services into one single location. That's what I understand from DeFi Super Center.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You cheated.
That's an internal
He's like, I've got it in
answer.
front of me.
Yeah.
It's on Screensaver. I
Yeah,
swear
yeah,
that was pure me.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not my wallpaper,
Yeah.
I
It's not
promise.
So let's come up with some analogies for the DeFi Super Center. Let's say, how can we relate that to what regular people do day to day? Like, what does that mean?
Well,
Not
what
on
is
the
the
crypto side,
DeFi
right?
Super Center?
Exactly.
Like, what is it? I think we need to establish that first. Like you I mean, you kind of very simply like nailed that on the head. It's like it's a bunch of different crypto applications and traditional finance rails all under roof. But the thesis is, it starts with blockchain. Blockchain is just the next iteration of software. We had calculators automate tasks. We had computers automate functions. And then we had the internet, digitize business, and now we've got crypto doing the same to the economy. And this is vision for quite some time, but we haven't been able to achieve that, and there's been a lot of bottlenecks, and a lot of those bottlenecks have been figured out. Like Hyperliquid's done a fantastic, done a great job. Paradex has done a great job, and so we're finally at the point where we're actually able to scale finance on chain, and so the DeFi Super Center thesis is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's just break down.
Yeah.
down a
Sorry,
little.
I was gonna roll.
So DeFi Super Center. Now, let's say I'm not in crypto. I don't understand what that is. What's like the Web 2 equivalent of that? Like, what can I relate that to?
Yeah, Wall Street. Wall Street, London, Hong Kong, Singapore. In some extent, it's the place where all finance takes place. You've got all your brokers there, you have your banks there, you have your asset managers there, you have clearing houses. Anything you want to do is there, and those places also attract the best talent. So when we think about in crypto, what is going to be the super center? What's going to be the Wall Street? Wall Street is going to be Paradex, simply because it's a broker. It's an exchange. It's going to have savings. It's going to investments. It's going to have hedging abilities, and you're going to be able to spend through debit cards and things like that from vaults and things like that. And so that is a super center, and so Paradex will be the Wall Street, if you will.
Right. So how do we actually get to that point? Like, I know we're in that direction, but what's going to be the catalyst to that?
Yeah, well, we've started to see some of those catalysts take place with 1010. We've seen
1010. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. The way you said it, it's like, who's 1010?
Yeah, no, 1010 and
Never forget, bro.
Yeah, the risk engines and whatnot, the opaque risk engines of Binance and what's happening with the white whale with MEXC right now is this was the promise of Binance and things like that, and FTX to some extent, and Celsius and whatnot. But those had centralized; they're incredibly centralized, and these are very transparent risk engines. And I think the Lindy effects of the teams that survived that are on mainnet are going to be quite large. So those again would be the Hyperliquid, the Paradex, the lighters.
Let's keep breaking things down.
Yeah, but I'll when 1010 happened.
Sorry, my bad.
Did you guys hear all that? Just let us know what happened.
It was on.
Okay.
Yeah. So when 1010 happened, there were a lot of tweets and articles and coverage around how a lot of traders who lost quite sizable money on Binance, they had no idea how perps work. That is also how there are because it's 18 million people on the platform. There's a lot of people who don't know how the technicalities of trading work, but they trade. And one of the reasons why
you guys let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
That's also bullish.
Yeah, that's 100% bullish.
They don't need to know.
Yeah, the reason why it's also so easy is you just download an app and you just load it up with your money and you start trading. When we talk about DeFi Supercenter, it's also something that is massive. With how do you see that happening with Nexus right now? The way the onboarding is how do you see that?
The onboarding?
Yeah.
The onboarding, unfortunately, is so quite bad. I think that's one spot of massive improvement need in crypto, and I'm optimistic that we'll start to see on and off ramps into Paradexes that are also KYC, because when you bring these institutions, you want to bring the US on chain, you do need that KYC function. So the DEX itself can remain decentralized in its functions. The on-off ramp can have the KYC, and so then you're coming banks and things like that.
All right, I want to throw a question to Fred. Fred, what are we doing to improve that process? No, what are you doing specifically?
You mean
for onboarding
for
or
onboarding?
Yeah.
Look, I think like you said already, there's a lot of kind of unsolved issues. I think with making this efficient. Still. It would be great if we basically onboard with fiat right away, to a DEX maybe. Right now, to be very honest with you, it's still pretty expensive. And it's relatively inefficient, right? So you kind of take the same routes that you would take.
The on-off ramp is expensive?
Yeah. It's because there's also a couple of payment processors in between, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even in Europe, right? There's the SEPA transfers. They are free bank to bank, but crypto is still they see this as risk. They charge extra, a couple of basis points on top of it. So, and it's still kind of a bit of a tedious process. So I would basically say there's probably a couple of smart heads out there that want a better solution, making this more efficient and kind of bring a little bit of innovative processes in there. So because the demand is right, so there will be solutions coming, they will be developed.
I think you made a great point. There's the demand is there. To your point is you've got all these users who don't know how perps work. That's great. They don't need I don't know how a car engine works.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Zero clue. I don't know how my phone works either. But I don't need to understand. I really don't. I don't need to understand. Now, do they need to understand the risk they're taking? Absolutely. And now we're getting clarity on what is auto deleveraging, what are socialized losses, and not a fantastic job of being very public on that on Twitter and things like that. And hopefully we'll get them on a pod to talk more in depth about it. But all you really need to understand is the risk you're taking, and you don't need to understand how the instrument actually works. So I think it's quite bullish because to your point, the demand is there.
Yeah.
So
And that's also why like the DeFi Supercenter, it's been promised for years, some form of this, some iteration of it. But now we're at the point where like these protocols can scale. The
Yeah.
infrastructure is there.
we are in the scaling phase, and if there are problems to solve, like onboarding, that just creates a lot of opportunities for anyone that's in the space now.
I mean, I also think still one big topic is we kind of to kind of go to the roots of crypto is like custody, right? Like we're all pretty crypto native, right? We know how wallets work. We need to take care of our private keys, right? If, we need to have kind of a backup, or if our laptop hard drive blows up or something. But for the average user in finance, right, it's almost like a scary thought for them that there's no one to call once, maybe they lose their phone, they basically lose their wealth, right? Like these kind of things, I think there's still a lot to be solved for these kind of users, And if that's at the end of the time some sort of like hybrid model, where there is like a kind of centralized party that takes part of the custody,
How do you feel about like wallets like Fuse embedding it into like your iCloud keys, your Google keys? How do you feel about that? Like, because like to be candid, like most of mine are like I use mobile. Like I hardly use a ledger. Like ledger, to be honest, I don't use a ledger, which I've gotten flack for at Delphi ever since I joined. But like, I feel very safe with my keys in my iCloud. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of two sides to it, right? On one hand, you still kind of say there's like a part where you're kind of exposed if something happens, someone gets hold of that key. But I think it's also then a question is there's a lot of demand for those kind of solutions, and it's maybe an analogy is there like if you have one nuclear plant, right? Nobody will insure you again. Like nobody will underwrite an insurance against you. But if there's like hundreds of them, then you can kind of start managing that risk, where there's maybe also a leak that's maybe not your fault. Maybe somebody can basically take an insurance there, right? And you say somebody will reimburse you that asset up to a specific amount. I mean, we have already this kind of deposit insurance in the banking system.
And it's fantastic, right? And it gives people like a peace of mind. Like someone like my parents and grandparents, they love that because you have that peace of mind. Like and to your point, like we can't underwrite that yet in crypto.
No,
but like hopefully we're moving in that right direction.
I hope. Like I said, I always say there's like always smart people, working on different kind of solutions.
I think
at some point.
Yeah, I think insurance is definitely something we need, and that's like when you move from an exchange or a bank into a Paradex, like that is one of the things I think we'll need to unlock like a big chunk of the population, because they're not going to store like meaningful wealth. They're always going to be in and out for trades, and they'll never store it there. But if there's some sort of insurance, and they can have like one of my college professors always talked about POM, peace of mind. So I think that would give a lot of people peace of mind.
And some of the smartest people I know are sitting around this area, so like something is going to get solved.
So just also a bit of experience. I mean, I also used to work for a short time at like an asset manager, and I still remember it was like 2017, and crypto was already a topic there, So the banking system, they are kind of aware of this for a long time. Right? But there was back then at least, there was this one unsolvable thing, and that was basically as an asset manager, who's the custodian, right? Once you kind of deal with crypto, and that was just not regulated, right? Because this whole, we're talking about the super center, right? Like, what does it even entail in terms of the actual financial services, right? You talk a bit, all right, like settlement, custody, all these kind of things, but in TradFi, those things are actually quite, you could say sophisticated, but also inefficient in that sense. There's a lot of overhead, like a lot of people working in a custodian, right? They're only managing moving assets after trades.
Yeah, their margins aren't that high, and it taxes the user too. Like me as a user, I get taxed on that, and then also like the margins, like the S&P financial sector, like gross margins, net margins are like 20% right now, versus like Perpdexes are closer to 90%. Like highly efficient business.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I just let you.
I
I'll let you guys just run. You guys are keep going, guys. Keep running with it.
Yeah, we are also watching the podcast.
Yeah,
with you guys.
we're learning in real time what's going on here.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. No, so what I was curious with what you guys just said is that it's so the DeFi Super Center is essentially only designed. Is it just designed for like the crypto savvy at the moment? Is the vision to further empower us, the crypto savvy, or are there elements within it to help
Yeah,
non-
eventually, like the onboarding that we were just talking about, like that'll help the non-crypto savvy. Like I like using my parents as an example.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that'd be
of
great
course.
for my parents. Like setting up a Coinbase wallet is already like nothing. It's not super easy. Like, it's gotten better over the years, but like to get them on a Paradex, like hey, set up a Phantom wallet, or like you can sign up for Hyperliquid Paradex using email, which is
Yes.
easier. It's getting better, but like it's still not easy.
Yeah.
It's somewhat intuitive for us because we're in this space all the time, but to give it some random, so like the Paradex super center thesis is definitely like more. I mean, it's real for everybody, but like it's very applicable to people like us because all of a sudden you're gonna be able to borrow against what you have in the vault. And you're gonna have these unified margin, and the increase in capital efficiency is going to be tremendous. And I think that's one of the massive unlocks with unified margin. As teams are moving that way, Paradex is moving that way, other teams are moving that way, and I think that'll be quite huge. And just to like really hit home, like the capital efficiencies there. If I'm a delta neutral strategy and I'm running that on Paradex, long spot, short funding, what have you, like when unified margin comes out, all of a sudden I'm gonna unlock like 70 to 90% capital efficiencies there. And so like let's say I'm a delta neutral hedge fund, and all of a sudden let me take the efficiencies I gain there. Let's not add any more risk to the portfolio, because farming delta neutral, you still have counterparty risk. Let's go put it in like UST bills. So like if you're delta neutral farming, you net 7%. You throw it in T-bills, and all of a sudden you're analyzing at 10%, and on a $100 million fund, that's a ton of carry. It's like the efficiencies there are like quite big.
Yes. So he was really cooking with a lot of different terms, and if you're not deep into finance or how all these different mechanisms work, we're going to throw it to Fred to explain all of that.
Where should I start?
Let's start
That's
with
quite
unified
difficult.
margin.
Yeah.
I think like each concept is like a lot of different things from just each different piece working together. But let's simplify that. Let's not have like a full-on vocabulary and learning session. Is there any like simplified examples?
I think the simplest term is quite literally it's just unlocks capital efficiencies.
Yeah.
Back to like understanding how perps work. You don't need to understand how they work. It's unified margin is a fancy risk engine that allows for capital efficiencies. Now it does have more inherent risk because there's cross margin and leverage involved, so like you definitely have more risk there, but it's just capital efficient.
I'm gonna throw this to Fred. What's the value of capital efficiency?
I mean, look, I maybe go from the trading options standpoint. Like if you trade options, you absolutely need capital efficiency. You already mentioned like unified margin. That's obviously like the first logical step that you don't need to basically send collateral to different accounts to trade different products, right? You can do it all from one account. I would even go one step further with the margin model, right? Like portfolio margin, we are also having this on the roadmap actually quite fast. Portfolio margin is basically even unlocking capital efficiency further, because what you also mentioned, like carry trades, delta neutral trades, right? They are in essence risk offsetting, right? Like if you sell a call and you basically have that spot of that underlying, right? What's your actual risk? I mean, there's risk involved always, right? But if you don't have any other positions on, it's like a covered call, right? You're basically it's neutralized, right? So basically, address that in your margin requirements, right? So I think that's actually a huge new unlock when there's portfolio margin. Because those unlock even more capital.
And to make that even like simpler is like if I'm long 100 Bitcoin and short 100 Bitcoin, like my delta is 0. And right now the way the platforms work and risk models work is like you've got your capital that is needed for that position is $200, but with unified margin, portfolio margin, correct me if I'm wrong, it will be massively reduced because the delta is offset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's basically the whole concept of portfolio margin, right? That you have different trades basically that offset risk, right? It's kind of a risk offset, really. That's the key word. When you reduce risk in your positions, you basically get margin back, because just simulate, basically it's a portfolio margin as you simulate the position that you have, across a few dimensions, right? Either the underlying moves up or down. If you bring options into place, you also simulate, of course, like a volatility change. But it's basically just simulating what could the market do and how much P&L or losses would my portfolio face, basically. And based on that, you can assign a much more accurate margin requirement, actually, right? Because in the example of a covered call, maybe my max risk is just $500, right? So why not have my margin requirement close to that $500
instead of it being like 5,000?
Exactly. Instead of maybe 5,000, by just taking like these short calls, because short calls are usually quite
it's quite an intuitive innovation that is taking place. It is. There's definitely more risk in that. Like there's just some issues, and like we saw a lot of people get ADL that were doing that.
In that case, it would be terrible.
Yeah,
like with portfolio margin and ADL, that's you have no certainty that your portfolio stays and is simulated the correct way if it suddenly changes, right?
Absolutely, and especially when we don't understand like how many dollars are in an insurance fund and what is the threshold. At what point does the exchange go to ADL and how aggressive are they? Yeah, I think maybe touch on what ADL is. There's some jargon that we're throwing around.
Should I
Yeah.
Look, I mean, to be honest, I'm also not maybe 100% familiar with the details, but it's basically just if the insurance fund cannot take or basically take the other side of what. I think the
a winning trade when the exchange is going insolvent.
Exactly. So if the exchange is kind of getting insolvent, right? So there's too many losses in the system, right? It basically force closes some of the winning positions. Yes. So I mean, there's like different ones. Some start maybe with the most profitable, the most big position, maybe. The most risky assets. There's like different nuances to it.
Teams use different formulas, but it's some sort of composition of who is the most, like which position is up the most in dollar terms and which one's most levered as well. Which one can compound fastest type of thing. And unfortunately, like not many of these systems use partial liquidations. And like that's actually something I'd like to see. Like I don't love ADL, but like I think there are less aggressive forms of ADL that you can do, like similar to what Lighter does. Like they had a much less ADL, and instead the LLP took the hit, which I think is actually quite fair because you're getting 45% yield in there, and that kind of yield isn't free. Like coming from traditional finance, like anything over the risk-free rate is therefore not risk-free. And so like if they take the hit, I think that's fine. And then also I think doing some sort of partial liquidations would be great, which I know Paradex does and the other teams.
Yeah.
Like Ethereal's talked about it as well. Like when you do some sort of partial liquidation, so instead of wiping someone's position out completely and making either that trader or that fund go bust, you can take a 10% haircut, 20% haircut, as much as needed. And maybe you need to take it all in some form of ADL, but like it's a lot less aggressive way. And then also, if the user knows that introduces time and it lets them take the position off themselves if they want, because then they can manage their other, like if you're short on hyperliquid, long on Lighter, you got chopped, unfortunately, like you blew up. So it'd be amazing. It's like, hey, I see I'm getting partially liquidated. Let me close my position on Lighter. Let me close it on hyperliquid. Let me step back and like take touch grass type of thing on 10-10.
I mean, I would still, to be honest, just to kind of make it maybe a little bit black and white. Like the reason why I just really don't like that concept is because it just puts like a whole type of uncertainty in your trades, right? Like because most people, it's just like you usually you have a strategy, right? Like some people don't just trade like one coin long or short or something, right? Like we just talked about like a lot of risk offsetting positions, right? Like a lot of people manage their portfolios in a way that there's risk offsetting angles or positions in it, right? And you basically pre-calculate your risk you're willing to take of this, right? And if the exchange unilaterally starts to kind of close some of your legs out, like you don't have certainty to plan ahead, right? Like we just talked about this portfolio margin, you simulate your portfolio across different moves, right? Suddenly that whole equation becomes unknown for you if the exchange starts to close off some of your legs, right? In some cases, I think with Hyperliquid was quite lucky that they kind of closed these shorts, almost at the bottom, but it could have also been much worse, right? Where the market maybe just kept on tanking and suddenly people that were hedged suddenly get also liquidated on their longs, right? Even though their risk was actually managed. So basically the exchange kind of intervenes in your risk management. And I think that is actually just by in principle, I think it's the wrong way.
Yeah, it's a variable that you can't underwrite because it's
Yeah, exactly. There's
You have no idea what.
Exactly. And I think that's for traders. That's the worst. I think that's the worst. It's worse than what you said. Like maybe the the liquidity wall taking a hit, or maybe there's even a haircut with socialized losses, right? Because then it's kind of system-wide issue, but everybody is kind of get a haircut in the same way, but your positions still stay the same, right? It's not that suddenly you carry a lot of different risks that you didn't anticipate. And I think that's the worst part for me, why I just completely dislike that system.
What's a better system?
Well, I think actually socialized losses. I think that's a better system because sure you might take a loss based on an insolvent protocol, but it's kind of first of all it's spread fairly across all of the users, and it still keeps your positions alive, right? So it doesn't introduce this let's say unknown variable that suddenly your position gets closed out and your whole account gets wiped because you're not hedged anymore, right? With socialized losses, sure, maybe it's like 5%, maybe 10, 15. Okay, that depends a bit, and
But
yeah.
sorry, but even if it does, like even if you have a 10% haircut, like socialized losses introduces time. So like if the market rebounded quickly, like and the insurance fund,
It can recover,
it can
right?
top you off.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you as a user, you have the optionality. It's like, hey, let me go and close this position, crystallize these 10% losses, and step away.
Yeah.
In additional to what you're already losing, close it and away. I'm just going to remain solvent. I think this becomes, and I'm going to be fine, which was the case during 1010. If you could have had that happen, 30 minutes later, you would have been closer to par. Assuming, I mean, there are other variables, but assuming the insurance fund was able to distribute capital that quickly back to those that it took from to deal with that position.
No, I think it's much more predictable. Because
Which is, I think, is quite a hot take because like socialized losses has a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths because we have seen exchanges blow up and everyone get hit.
sure, I mean, there's different opinions on it. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that what I'm saying is everybody thinks that way, right? Just for me personally, when I have a portfolio, I want to have certainty that the trades that I put on, the hedges that I have running, that those remain in place and not getting arbitrarily closed at some time. I mean, I might not be on my computer, right? I might be in an airplane without an internet connection, right? And then suddenly the market keeps on moving and my whole portfolio gets blown up, right? That's a much worse outcome, if you ask me, than the potential of socialized losses. But again, that's my opinion of the way I trade as well.
So, but it's our opinion and you trade it very clearly. So if people don't agree with them, with these opinions,
Yes,
it's find
people can
better
disagree.
arguments against.
No, it's good debate. It's good discourse. Like I'm excited to see this continue over the it's part of the DeFi Super Center thesis. It's like all of it. People are starting to really to your point. Like we don't need to understand how these things work, but it's good for founders, investors, research people to have these discussions on what might be the most optimal risk engine. And I think moving forward we'll see both. I think we'll see different iterations of both as well.
And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The best product market fit will win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Eventually, the market will tell the exchange what it wants.
Correct. The users, they're making their choices, right? But basically, we talked about there's hyperliquid, lighter, Paradex, right? There's different nuances. I mean, talking about Paradex, we use socialized losses, right? Hyperliquid used ADL, so the user can make. Basically, the user has a vote with where they are trading and what system they prefer, right? Users have a vote on that in that
With their dollars.
with dollars,
Which are I mean, this is something we were talking about in the office earlier. It's like the dollar for retail, exchanges competing per dollar of retail is really hard right now. Especially all these perp dexes. So you really need to be strategic in your framing of the risk that you're introducing to your users because everyone's farming everything still. Even after getting liquidated, look at perp volumes. OI took a massive hit. Volumes are still pretty decent. They're not I thought they would be a decent lower.
I would agree. I mean, it was brutal.
It was terrible.
I mean, I've seen a lot of crypto before, but it was brutal.
It was insane. I remember I was sitting at my computer and I just it just kept going down. This is I thought it was a fake wick, and I was pulling up other platforms. I'm okay, this is insane. I just sat there. I was I can't do anything. Liquidated.
I don't think you can ignore, you should ignore.
Survivor.
Yeah. We'll get it back.
Yeah.
And this is my first platform. I mean, thankfully it was 5 10% of my portfolio, and so like I can get back. Like unfortunately, I had friends who like had everything on there because I mean, similar to what I was doing, it's like I was like 1.7x levered long, but like I was treating it almost just like spot. I wasn't necessarily trading aggressively or anything. And I had friends that were doing that, and they everything on it on perp platforms, and they just got cooked. Yeah, I feel really bad for the people who were, delta neutral and got blown out because of ADL. Like that's tough. That's a tough one to swallow because you were like managing it well. Like you were set up fine, and you should have actually done quite well with the funding, but it just unfortunately didn't work out for you.
Or like the others, like, oh, they're 12% this, or Nazis or whatever.
All right, I got pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
And about to kind of just hung out on the side here. I feel like we should do another one of those tomorrow. Get that recorded. You guys are cooking. That's a really good
It was fun.
conversation.
It was fun.
It's always fun.
Well, it's also we hadn't talked much in the office, so
This is perfect. I always love hearing Fred talk, but now that Fred has like an opposite who is as intelligent, it's brilliant. Because whenever I hear Fred talk, I just want to listen like a
It's
professor.
experience. It's not intelligence.
It's experience.
I mean, we're in the space.
yeah,
of
time in the
very
cockpit. Yeah.
So that's very inspiring to everybody. It's not about how big a brain is, it's about how long you've been in the space.
Yeah, and connecting experience, trying those things out, right?
And that's coming from a big brain, so that's very reassuring.
like,
for me.
I mean, when you have an accent like that, you know you're smart.
Oh, okay, yeah, it has a professor vibe, right?
Well, it's also, I mean, I've done a couple of German interviews lately. Honestly, especially in crypto, I've never done that before. And I also don't have too many German friends that are really into crypto. You know, it's probably a cultural thing. You know, for them, it's like a lot of these risk topics are much more important. So yeah, I always like to actually like a little kind of I like to give a little example always, you know, like a coin toss game, and that kind of like it shows basically everyone why you should never invest your full stack. Why?
Yeah.
Because even if you have like an edge, like there's a 60% chance that you double your money, and there's a 40% chance that you just lose it, or let's say maybe 60% you get 60% and 40% you lose half of it, you gain half of it, right? So you would probably say, like, if I would ask you, would you flip the coin?
I
mean, there's a 60% chance that you double the money though.
But 40%
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Oh, you're
I'm a
risk
steady
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
You're risk averse.
He's got all his money in the Gigaball.
Yeah. No, but
He doesn't trade.
no, there's it's kind of it's just basically statistics, right? Where you say that you need to start position sizing,
Yes.
and you need to be kind of conservative with it, because even if you have edge, you know, in a certain trade, if you use too high positions, right, you eventually get wiped out, because if you lose 2 times in a row with a coin toss, you're down bad, and you need to win more than 2 times again, right? You need to win like a couple of more times, and then it's a statistical.
Yeah, this rolls into
effect,
poker
right?
well too, like cash management.
Exactly, yeah. So if anybody's interested, Kelly sizing. Kelly sizing is a good.
Kelly sizing.
Yeah, it's just kind of. There's a mathematical formula behind it, but it's not that complicated. But it just kind of teaches you how much you should put on for each trade,
Okay. So Fred,
even if you have edge.
we're gonna stop you there only because like we are gonna be doing a lot more educational content in the future. You're gonna be our main guy, so we can't share too much right now, so that people will stay tuned for those sessions.
I have a whole presentation
Only one
about that.
strategy that we should know, which is, you know what that is? Martingale.
Martingale.
What's that?
You know what that is? Just keep buying good dip.
Okay.
Like that's
Cool. So let's repeat that in case those who cannot hear. There's only one strategy you should focus on, and that's called.
look it up.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Martingale.
Martingale.
It works well with blackjack.
Right. So and what do you do in the martingale
High risk
strategy?
approach that involves doubling your position size after it's lost.
Oh, my uncle told me this when I played blackjack with him. And,
See, I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Double.
Go all in.
I lost everything in 3 rounds, man. My uncle said that. I
need a bigger
trust
bankroll.
it. Oh,
Yeah, like I mean,
You
it's
play,
like
yeah.
part of like playing like
Yeah.
poker. Like you play for 8 hours, and you have to like manage that over time.
So one of our future streams, we need to have a poker game where these 2 guys are playing.
No, just do like an 8-hour live stream and the whole team. playing
Okay,
poker.
let's do it. I think Wadi can be a good dealer.
Poker is very, very similar to trading. Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't read like Andy Duke's book, Thinking in Bets, it's fantastic.
Maybe
That's a
maybe a Paradex poker tournament. And just do it online. Bring in the community.
So I didn't agree with it before, but when Fred said that poker and trading has similar strategies and thought processes, then you know what? Now I'm in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There's a lot to learn.
I'm gonna observe how you guys do it.
I mean, some of the big market players, they hire people on poker tournaments. It's part of their hiring
Yeah, it's
process.
like Hasim Qureshi was like a poker player. Like that's what how I started. There's a lot of people have the similar story.
Yeah, Zenica is also a poker player. The NFT Zenica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Seneca.
Yeah.
He did say he used to be a poker player.
Yeah.
Maybe a high-profile Paradex poker tournament.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll play with XP.
We'll play with XP. We'll play with XP. That's it. That is the man. These guys are killing it. So I want to segue to a little topic because Fred was saying that he's been doing a lot more like German podcasts recently. So what's the next one, man? And is that something that people can look forward to?
Oh well, I mean,
If the
if there's some German people in the chat, just DM me. If you know some communities that want to talk to someone from Paradex, give some introductions or explain some concepts about trading, risk management. Happy to chat.
Yeah. DM Freddy or open a ticket.
Yeah, DM Freddy. Open
You know
ticket.
where to
Same
find
thing.
out.
Same person answering the questions.
Yeah. I guess while we're here, you can also ask Arjun if you want him in your community to chat about Paradex or Steamboat.
So let's
Just them.
let's tell you where our strengths are, right? So Arjun, to me, his strengths come with his deep experience in NFT games. So like maybe design, community management, that kind of stuff. And then with that, anything that you guys want to ask in terms of content creation?
Oh yeah, we are
It's
Paradex. Good transition.
Actually, I was going to transit to a few other updates that I wanted to share. So maybe you can start with I will events first. So Freddy has a live stream coming up with some German communities. We have a few other events. So our dear friend Modi right over here, he will be in Thailand for Thailand Chain Week this weekend. He's going to meet a few traders, KOLs. If you meet him, if you want to get some alphas directly from him, he's very generous in person, so hit him up.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's here.
Also, you've seen Wardy on the previous stream. He really likes being surprised from behind. So if you see him, shake him.
Pause.
Yes.
Pause.
Yes. Yes. And also next week on the 15th of November, this will be a first. I heard this is the first ever in the Philippines where we're going to be hosting a esports style trading competition. So what's interesting about this? Okay, sorry, Dan, you look excited, man. You add on.
So I'm excited about this because they are doing a trading competition with a twist. It's a two-person team. There's only going to be one trader, but the other person is the hype person. So imagine you're having a rap battle and then you have your hype crew behind you. It might turn out like that. It could be amazing or even better than amazing. We'll see how that turns out.
I'll be honest, if I was the trader and a hype man is just saying like, go, you can do it, I'm going to ask the guy to shut the...
Well, you're the talk shit man.
I'm the... you know what? I will be the hype man and then he'll be the
Hype
trader.
man, talk shit man.
Yeah. So what's interesting for this coming trading competition is we have already locked in the location and trading communities who are going to be competing within the Philippines. It is a community versus community competition. And just today, we threw a spanner into the plans of the events team. We found a very OG, I won't share who yet, a very OG Filipino trader. He used to be a TradFi guy, now he's a DeFi guy, and he is also one of our Paradex affiliate partners. So we asked the event, hey, we got this guy, we just found him. Can we add him into your event? They were like, maybe. But we forced it in, so now this guy is going to compete with everybody.
That's why they were like, no, we want to win this.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. So next Saturday, it will be live streamed on multiple platforms. I think there's X, Facebook, and YouTube. And I'll be there in person. So do support us and see how that goes. So the esports style kind of concept is something that we are testing. So
Didn't make it.
if it works, if we think we can replicate it, make it more exciting, we will on our own, right, Dan?
Yes, and we'll
Yes.
be bringing it to other cities around the world if it goes well. What cities are you guys in? This is like engagement point. I'm sorry.
Are we reading the chats? Is there something interesting people are saying in the chats?
Let's see. Here we go.
So for me,
Free time. Yes, that's the most interesting thing.
So
one
we
can
will
say.
only reply to
100%.
people who have .dime in their profiles.
Yes. So we have this Bring XP betting as one of the segments of Paradex double or nothing.
Oh,
That's a good segment.
That's a
The segment is double or nothing.
Bring XP betting as one of the segments in Paradex, double or nothing. Okay.
That's a good name for a
How-
segment.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I mean, we can figure that out. We know how double or nothing works.
Yeah,
Over
we'll
what
figure it
time
out.
frame? Over what time frame?
During the stream.
Oh
Yeah. So,
Well, I mean, all you need is like probably what, 4 or 5 grand to move it OTC. You shouldn't do that, but
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're ahead, bro. Like,
It's out there for those.
We'll get a budget. We'll get XP budget for that.
Dan, maybe share, or maybe Dan or Arjun, share more about our Paradex ecosystem page.
Yeah, 100%. So we have very recently started Paradex Eco. One of the reasons why we started Paradex ecosystem page was this. As you can see, there's too many people, too much happening, and everybody is doing pretty interesting things. There is Fred, there is Wody, there is Dan, there's me, there's Toad, and there's just like so many interesting things that we want to share with you guys. And usually there is like just a limitation of how much we can play around with the main page. So like now when we are like all out there, we felt like this was about time that we introduce an ecosystem page where we can go more in depth with all the topics that are live. It could be the XP transfers. It could be an event in Bangkok, and that outlet also gives us a very good opportunity to interact with more of you guys. So yeah, I would say that we are doing a lot of interesting things. If you want to come in radar, like interact with Paradex Eco, and yeah, that's mostly it.
That's great. Now let's hype this up. Let's make a commercial for Paradex Eco. 30 seconds.
Whoa, no
Yeah.
pressure, man.
Yeah.
No pressure. That's just Arjun on the spot.
Arjun's on the spot. You've seen commercials.
Okay.
Let's make one.
Paradex Eco is going to be the most awesome degenerate page you will ever see
Let's see
on
if
the
Arjun has
internet.
some time.
We need
Let's
a
see
host.
Arjun.
We'll give him
Oh
some
my
time.
god, you
No,
just
no,
like
no, no,
okay,
no, no. I'll take
wow,
over.
fuck
I'll
you
take
guys.
over. I'll take over. I'll share a few more updates, right? And then we give Arjun
Yeah.
some time because Arjun is actually very good when he gets to prepare.
Yeah.
Right? Not everyone's on the spot guy. You are on the spot guy. You got to us on the spot because we're not on the spot
Yeah.
guys.
I was gonna do it improv, and then I would have had a reason of why it was bad. Now you've
Oh,
given me time to
oh,
prepare,
shit. Oh,
and then
okay,
you're like
okay.
asking me to do this
Yeah,
again.
Arjun, no excuse.
Yeah, these guys are setting me up, guys.
Setting you up. Yeah. That was,
Yeah,
that was
these are
intentional.
bullies.
Okay. So I'm gonna share some updates first about what our upcoming focuses are.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, as you guys see right now, we've been experimenting like crazy with live streams. Today may or may not be a good decision.
Yeah,
but,
we are experimenting, as you can see.
experimenting. And on that note, video live streams are going to be one of the key focuses that we are working towards. And what this means is we're not saying that we all want to be famous. We don't want to be doing this every week. We want to dig into our community. We want to see who are the streamers, who are the video content creators. We want to bring you guys on board to join us, talk about trading, talk about your strategies, just talk about Paradex, whatever, as long as it's within that scope, we want to onboard you. We want more people like you guys to come on. And the thing is, it's not just saying like, oh, we want more content. No. We are looking for people who are up and coming streamers, video creators, and content producers to join us, and we are going to grow with them, and we are going to incentivize them. That's the key part. Okay, this is a I grow, you grow kind of situation.
Right. And I just want to add in, crypto is still very complicated. So the only way to onboard the generation of crypto users to pump our own bags is to make educational accessible for everybody, and that's where you come in.
Yeah.
And you just have to
I think you guys did the
against each
ad.
other until you
So I,
finish.
I
That was a
yeah,
pretty good ad.
that was pretty good.
If you're in the Philippines next weekend, we will share the Luma link soon once it's live, so that everyone can join. Come find me, come say hi, come join, come talk to me about anything. I accept conversations about comic books, trading, and all things video, except the naughty stuff.
Yeah. Steamboat also likes surprises, so like surprise them.
From the front, not from behind.
But I mean, if Tommy's just talking,
So
then we
Okay.
only got
Arjun, are you ready?
You really have to max.
It's done. I think
It's done. Okay, it's done. It's
You
done.
did
It's
an
done.
excellent
Yeah.
job.
So let's do the XP giveaway. We got
So,
our
I tell you what,
Let's go.
we may not be able to do the live XP. Are we able to do the live XP giveaway?
well,
actually?
we can give the question and then we'll give it away right after.
Okay, so we'll give. So for those of you who tuned in at the start, you guys probably have the most benefits here. So there were 3 key points about XP that we asked earlier, right? And we got our Arjun and our dear Flip to answer the questions, and they got it almost correct. So the 3 questions are, well, you know what? The 3 facts are: how many XPs were transferred last week? How many transfers were made in total, and how many new accounts were created from transfers? If you caught the information, good for you. Now, I will ask one question from the whole community and people who are listening in. If you answer this correctly, the first person to answer this correctly, then keep a lookout on the chat. First person to answer this correctly gets the free XP. How many transfers did we make in total since we allowed XP to be transferred? How many transfers were made in total since XP transfers were available?
We'll give it some time.
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you all a clue. It's below 1,000.
What was the guess?
No, we don't know yet. We are just asking.
Oh no,
that.
what's the question? Sorry.
Oh, how many transfers were made in total? How many XP transfers were made in total?
Yeah. He,
Chris forever.
Okay, we got a winner fast. So Krish forever. I'm gonna say I love you. You know why?
Yeah,
Because
that's the
for you
whole
to
point,
have
like,
known the answer,
who's
you would have
that?
been paying attention since the moment we started this stream. So
That dude's locked in.
you may get another surprise from me. Reach out on DMs. I got something prepared for you, man. I like
Steamboat.
0x Steamboat. No, but I think Krish and I are already talking, so I think it's okay. I think I got him on DMs already.
Okay, I think,
Perfect.
well, it's 9:04. We are past the hour, and I think it's time to wrap things up. So let's sign off, guys. I'm gonna say thanks for watching. I'm Dan, Full Valley Dan.
0x Steamboat.
and Arjun.
And fuck those guys. All right, later, guys.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Like legends.